So if you're like me and have tried the First Descendant at launch, you probably bounced off because there wasn't much to do. But I came back recently and man, they've turned things around. More content, smoother progression, and the quality of life changes that actually respect your time. So if you're thinking about returning or just curious what's going on, here's an update of the content you need to know. Back at launch, it was rough. Too grindy, repetitive, and lacked meaningful endgame. I liked the mechanics, but it felt hollow. So like many of you, I dropped it. But boredom and curiosity brought me back, and I'm pretty surprised. So here are 10 things you may have missed in the First Descendant. Void Vessels. These dungeons are your first stop for real endgame now. Challenging, coordinated content, with some minor mechanics, given most of the mechanics we've already seen. But nevertheless, think of it like infiltration operations with a twist. One big map that has 2 or 3 different paths you can take each time to shake up the repetitive nature of looter shooters. However, this is not the only reason to run them. The Void Vessels have added 2 new Descendants and 2 new Fellows, which are dogs. They just added dogs. However, these dogs are helpful for farming. They can help you pick up items and auto-dismantle items based on your loot filter. Depending on what dog you use, they've got some different abilities, so it's worth getting all of them. Login rewards. They revamped this completely. Daily and weekly login bonuses now include mats, boosters, gear that you can actually use, such as crystallization catalysts, energy activators, skins, and more depending on what the devs put out. You're no longer logging in just to farm some drop rate that says 20%. That is definitely not 20%. You're getting rewards that are actually helpful and make signing in pretty exciting. Sigma Sector. This is a brand new map zone with tighter mission design and open design. Much like Void Vessels, they are one big level with multiple different paths that change each run. Feels like they've learnt from the early feedback, less grind, more structure, and visually, easily one of the best looking areas so far. Abyss Void Intercepts. Abyss is like the ultimate boss mode. At the moment of recording there is only one boss, and that is the Ice Maiden. She is extremely hard to beat, but is a good goal to keep in mind for your account. Team roles matter, damage and defenses matter, and the rewards are juicy. The Pity System. The best quality of life change in my opinion. Farming mats or blueprints used to be RNG hell. Now, you've got a pity system to guarantee rewards if luck isn't on your side. Makes farming actually tolerable. This is a system inside of the library that you can use to find out where items are attainable. But now, you can select these blueprints or mats, and each time you run the mission or mechanic that drops the item, and you don't receive it, after a certain amount of runs, you'll receive that item as a sort of pity. Ticket Shop. Earn tokens or tickets from missions or selling excess blueprints that you are not going to use in exchange for actual upgrades, cosmetics, useful gear. The vendor is only available on weekends, but he will have different stock each weekend that he comes around. It gives you control, play how you want, get what you want, guaranteed. Photon Imprinter. This one's underrated. It lets you imprint the symbols from your base Descendant and move them to the respective ultimate versions, so you don't have to farm for the same person twice. Given these are super rare, as I don't even have one, and they're acquired by in-game events from what I can tell, that's pretty few and far between. The Core System. This is where your build really gets fine-tuned. You can now min-max your weapons and external component core stats. Focus on crits, survivability, or elemental damage based on the playstyle you'd like to build for. Invasions. Invasions keep things fresh. You'll get random world events that change on a rotation, that give rewards and shake up the usual grind. It's small, but keeps the game feeling alive. And you can farm a new Descendant here. 400% dungeons. Time limited events where dungeon drops are boosted like crazy. If you are returning, these are one of the best ways to gear up fast. All of this leading up to Season 3 Breakthrough dropping in August. If you want to be ready or maxed by then, now's the time to start grinding. So yeah, if you quit like I did, this might be a sign to jump back in. There's actually a real game here now, with a roadmap and some smart systems. I'm impressed and cautiously optimistic. If I've missed any changes, or is there anything you think returning players must know, drop it down in the comments below. I'll heart anything useful. If this has helped you out, consider subscribing, especially if you want more updates, build guides, and no fluff content for games like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.